They kicked the frog poop out of them, however it is you look at it. That was disappointing for those of you who wanted to watch a game last night. I guess you could flip over, put on the Mountain West Network and watch the Lobos. 65-7. That's how college football's season wrapped up last night. Georgia over TCU in an absolute blowout, a domination of epic proportion as pick your stat, pick your whatever. It was all Georgia. Total yards, 589 to 188. That and the score tells it all. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, good morning to you. It's the opening drive on Tuesday. How you living?
What it do?
How much? So you were at the Lobos. How much of this did you catch?
Enough.
You watched it on your phone? I mean, by the time the Lobo game started, this was over.
Halftime.
Yeah, by the time the Lobo game started, this was over. I was like, should I go down to the pit? And I flipped on the Mountain West Network. This was, look, I'm not sitting here rooting. I'm not telling you, it's not betting, it's not rooting. I'm a fan of a game. I'm a fan of something to talk about. I'm a fan of something fun to watch. That wasn't that. That was an ass kicking of epic proportions on the biggest of stages last night, and it was disappointing.
Georgia was unbelievable.
Yeah,
that was terrible for college football. That was terrible for college football because as much as college football is the number 2 in this country,
and it is,
there's still a big old debate on if that championship game matters. Now people are like, you're going to extend the college football playoff and we're going to get this all the time. It's the worst thing to happen coming off the best semifinals ever.
Why? So I guess I'm not familiar with the debate. Does the championship game matter? What do you mean? The crown's a champion. What? I don't know that debate.
It's tough because in football, it's real. The gap that's out there. And to have that happen on the biggest stage does put a damper on everything else. Coming off best bowl season ever. CFP were awesome. And it was just an unbelievable letdown in the game. But there's a reason that number was 12.5. People are like, you're crazy. You can't do that to TCU to see what they're happening.
Yeah.
Well, did not look like either of the teams we saw in the CFP semifinal.
Hardly. So it was not good for college football. I thought bowl season was terrific. I thought the games in bowl season were terrific in college football's postseason. I thought the semifinal weekend was better than terrific. And I thought yesterday was horrific. Was it good for college football? No, but that's an anomaly. So I'm not going to sit here and even entertain the conversation that game doesn't mean anything, that championship doesn't mean anything. Because if you look back at the college football playoff and I mean, since the BCS morphed into the CFP, the college football playoff championship has been terrific. It's been entertaining. It's been fun. We've sat here many of Mondays on the second Monday of the year and talked about, is that the best game ever? Is that the best championship game ever? This one was the grossest ever. It was disgusting. It was horrible to watch. So I'm not going to entertain the conversation. Does the championship mean anything? No, it means everything. Georgia was absolutely dominant, and I mean, the system played out, and that's what we got. Everybody loves an underdog until the underdog gets put in its place, right? Everybody loves the underdog until the underdog gets beat down by the big dog. Everybody loves the cute little story until the big bad wolf comes and beats them down into pulp. And I think that's what happened. Now, would Michigan have fared any better? Ohio State did, and Michigan beat Ohio State, and then TCU beat Michigan. So, explain it. Georgia was just that much better. When Kirby Smart said before the game, when Holly Rowe asked him, what do you got to do in the first half to come out? We got to be aggressive. What does that mean? You got to show aggression. Like he was all ball. Georgia's that much better. And I don't know where Georgia got this chip on their shoulder. Did I miss something all year? Was everybody doubting Georgia?
No.
Who the hell was doubting Georgia all year? Where did they come up with this narrative?
Somehow that Kirby Smart got it, put it in their heads, and ran with it.
Did one guy in one place somewhere in the South on some radio station scream, Georgia ain't got no chance, ain't nobody going repeat in college football, ain't nobody do that no more, Georgia ain't that dang good, Stetson Bennett ain't good. They ain't gonna repeat. So did one guy in the South somewhere scream that into a mic, and that's what they got?
Yeah, after you lose 15 players to,
15 to the draft
and score 65 points in a title game.
Look, I'm afraid of recency bias. You know that. I hate to sit here and say that was the most dominant performance I've ever seen in a title game, but I don't recall seeing one any more dominant. Do you?
No.
I mean, SC beat Oklahoma real bad. I think it was in 2014, 2013, 2014, right in that area. But this looked like a JV team on the field. TCU had no chance. I know I sent you guys that text. When does the varsity show up?
Or like a homecoming game. You usually play like a bad. That's what it reminded me of. I was like, is this like Georgia's homecoming?
Well,
game?
so you know what it looked like, and tell me I'm
so
wrong.
sad.
New Mexico State goes to play LSU or Minnesota
Alabama,
or Florida.
Yep.
Did it look any different than that? It really didn't, did it? I mean, the stats bear it out. The score bears it out. You just didn't have Herb Street and Fowler there.
Totally.
Right? It'd have been on the SEC network. I just...
Ooh, and then all those Alabama people
They
just
can
all
stop.
over the internet.
Yeah, they can
That's
stop.
why they should have been there. I'm
Yeah,
like,
they can
all right,
stop.
everyone stop.
They can stop.
Well, get your chance
You did have your chance.
when it goes to 12. Too.
Yeah.
And I actually don't think this means that the 12-team playoff is going to be bad
I don't either.
at all. I think it's going to be very exciting. It's probably going to lead to better matchups because the fact is you probably get some underdogs that will be weeded out by the time you get to the end. And it was a bad night for college football. It happens. People get blown out in championship games. Sometimes you don't get the best game. But it was just that Georgia team with Stetson Bennett is a college football legend. It's just, wow. I still look down. I'm like, how did TCU even put a 75-yard drive together? Score a touchdown early in that game when just everything that TCU did looked nothing like the team that played Michigan.
Nothing. Look, can I tell you what this was? Can we put this into real perspective? This was one game. This was an anomaly. The college football season was really good. The college football postseason was better than good. The college football playoff championship routinely has been terrific. That game stunk. And every once in a while, you get a bad Super Bowl. There was a stretch, and I want to say the 80s. I'd look it up again, where the Super Bowl was horrible. Where the games were just blowouts. Every year, they were just bad. And now they've been pretty good. This was one bad matchup. And Georgia kicked the frog poop out of TCU. And that's how it was. And for anybody who's trying to make something bigger out of it and find some sort of a pattern and tell me why it should be different and it doesn't matter, you're wrong. This was one bad matchup, one game where a team got the crap beat out of them. That doesn't mean the system's bad. It doesn't mean anything. Because go look at it historically.
Well,
year
not
after
to
year.
compare it, what about in the last 5 years, Alabama, Ohio State? I mean, not 58 points, but it was 28 points.
In the final?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clemson, Alabama, 44-16. That was in 2018.
Okay.
Um,
So there have been a few then.
2004.
Yeah, I mean, but how many of those? Okay,
Right.
give me. So what was last year? What did Georgia win? Georgia
I
beat.
can't remember.
You don't have a list in front of you? I thought you
Sorry,
did.
I'm looking at blowouts.
Okay. All right. Right. I thought you had the whole list in front of you. I thought you were trying to be even killed here.
Hold on.
But how many times have we sat here talking? Oh, what a great performance by this guy and that guy, and look, they have been. They have been.
33-18.
All right. 505-246-0610. That's how to get to us today. It's the 377 Brewery Hotline. You can send text to that same number. You can call us as well. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. On the Twitter, JJ is a great follow. You should follow him at _JJ Buck. You should also follow A. Marie. What's it? Part-Time Bro?
Yeah, at part-time bro.
At
Yep.
Part-Time Bro. Watch the show on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. You can also watch it on Comcast Channel 26. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks. Special one this morning. Looking forward to 8 o'clock. Terrence Mathis, one of the best to ever do it football-wise at the University of New Mexico. got the call yesterday from the College Football Hall of Fame. He is going into the College Football Hall of Fame. Terrence was a terrific pro. He is as good as there's ever been offensively, certainly, at the University of New Mexico, and he is going to be with us coming up this morning at 8 o'clock. Really looking forward to that conversation. We'll get into Lowell basketball. They snapped a 2-game losing streak last night at the Pit. JJ, how was how was that last night?
It was a good game.
Yeah.
Glad I went to the Pit.
Good call on your part. Good call on your part. I got a lot of thoughts on what happened last night. I watched them work hard last night. I watched the return of Jamal Mashburn's shooting. What was he? 11 for 23 last night. What's wrong with Javonte?
A banged up elbow, so I'm expecting him back for Saturday against San Diego State.
I think that's a big piece. I think that with his the length of their guards, the length of them, period, I think they need him, if nothing else, on the defensive side. So we're going to get into all of that. So 8 o'clock, Terrence Mathis, the former Lobo who's going into the College Football Hall of Fame. Looking forward to that conversation. We're here for you on the college football playoff, 65-7. I mean, that's my perspective. It was a 1-game blowout, man. It was a bad matchup. Georgia was just that much better than TCU. 505-246-0610. When we come back, Lobo basketball bounces back. What it means and what it could mean. That's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Makes a little sports analysis.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Game, snapping the 2-game losing streak. Lobos, what do? Well, they complete the non-conference schedule undefeated. The extra added game against Oral Roberts last night, 82-75 victory for New Mexico in the pit. It was a fun game back and forth. Lobos look good. No Javante Johnson. Guard lineup, KJ Jenkins started. Donovan Dent played 27 minutes. Tight rotation. Got the job done for Richard Pitino. Big bounce back game 2 for the Post. And it wasn't just the points in the paint for the Lobos. It was what they did defensively. As Morris Udeze, Josiah Alec went for 27 points and 23 rebounds on the game. Max Asmus, you look down, he scored 26 points, but he really had to work for all those points. He had 12 in the first half, just 5 of 12 from the field. Now, that's a really efficient Oral Roberts team, and that's a solid win with the Lobos back on a good path, get that bad taste out of their mouth, because they know they got an uphill battle Saturday at San Diego State.
Asmus was as good as advertised, huh?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, terrific guard. I saw some tweets out that people were saying, Mexico's bringing down the league's RPI with their net rankings with their scheduling, and I'm like, Grammer's tweet was really good. He said, "Tell me you don't know basketball without telling me you don't know basketball," right? With that tweet. This is one of those where, again, the name isn't what the name is, but the net rankings, what it does for your schedule, or for your strength of schedule, for all that stuff, is way more than some of these teams in this league, actually, right? Like, for instance, Fresno State.
Yeah.
Fresno State was 202 when you lost to them. This was a, mid-60s team? I thought you just mentioned it, I thought defensively their bigs were better. Up against a big 7'5" kid, I thought they were good. Boy, how many threes did he shoot? He took, all night long he was just pumping threes.
Yeah, Connor Vanover, 4 of 11. He's 7'5", but he weighs 7 pounds.
Yeah, probably 57. But
so that the Lobos still, with a 7'5" player on the floor, had the advantage inside.
Yeah. What do you think of the guard play? Because I thought that for the most part, they played under control. They turned the ball over 10 times, 16 assists on 33 field goals. It was good to see Mash get back in the rhythm. I thought the foul trouble on Saturday night took him out of rhythm.
It really did, because then you saw Richard Pitino. He was managing lineups late in the first half. A lot of offense, defense substitutions to avoid the foul trouble for both Mashburn Jr. and House. And it was a really good game. Career high 11 made field goals for Jamal Mashburn Jr. in his 24-point effort. I thought everyone responded well. And this is a team that Richard Pitino talks about it all the time. He said the bread is buttered inside. They want to get Alec and Udeze going. But I thought it was the transition game, the defense leading to offense. When the guards get out and run, I think that gets them in a good rhythm. And then they can settle into some half-court offense, work the sets, work the ball around. I think when you have, especially Donovan Dent on the floor, we had some really good moments defensively in the first half. When it's Dent, House, and Mashburn, I think them, when they get out, run, transition, get going, that helps them settle into, all right, let's feed the post and then play half-court basketball.
There was a play, the Dent dunk, the steal and dunk, I thought was a really big play. Late first half that got them going when they got that lead spread out a little bit. This is a big win. How was the atmosphere last night?
It was solid.
Yeah.
It was. They announced over 9,000. There was good energy in the building for the Monday night, coming off 2 losses. Solid.
Yeah, I thought as I'm watching it last night, and then I didn't go last night. I watched the college football playoff, and I think that's a lot of people. I think people. I don't know why I've been watching the social media like I have lately. You know where I am with it. I think it's the worst place ever. People are so in their own little world. And this theme of bandwagon fans and where are you, and you sold out the pit because they were winning and now they lost and you're not coming. I think that narrative has about 10% credibility to it. I think there's a little bit of people who are maybe not going to go back because they lost or whatever. But the fact is, that was a Monday night. The national championship game was on. And I know when you're into Lobo basketball, it's like when you're into anything else, right? If you're a United fan, United's what matters. If you're a Lobo basketball fan, that's what matters. Dude, people love college football. And that was,
I don't think that had any.
You don't think college football had any impact
No.
at all?
I think it's Monday night. A little bit of the luster was off.
Yeah.
But it was a late addition
It
to
was
the schedule.
well, that's why I was going to
game.
add that too.
I think even without college football,
You
that's probably the
disagree?
crowd you get.
No, I think college football actually had a lot to do
I
with
do
it.
too.
And even at 377 Brewery, a lot of Lobo fans came out, but a lot of people also came to watch the national championship game.
Yeah.
And I was surprised even I wasn't surprised about how many people came out to watch the national championship game at the bar.
I know people who said, "Yeah, I'm going to watch on the feed tonight. I'm watching the national championship game." I didn't go to the game.
I think both are factors though, and it was an added game.
Well, I think all three.
But
it's a Monday night. It's an
totally.
added game, but I think to discount the national championship game, I think is wrong. I think that plays a.
Let's see
that's
what
a
happens
factor.
when we go back into conference play next week. 2 home games,
Right.
and then decide from there.
Do you think it matters what they do with San Diego State?
Yes.
What if they get beat by San Diego State?
I hope that people still come out and we sell out pit.
Yeah,
home
I
games.
think people will be there next week. But it was a good crowd. It looked like a good crowd.
It was loud.
Yeah.
The energy was fine. There wasn't any like, oh, this stinks.
Yeah.
Feel coming off 15,000. Like solid night. I don't like it factor. It's sports. You have options. I don't think that for what would be.
I'll tell you, that was the only reason I didn't go.
Yeah. Like 4,000 people stayed home
Yeah.
to watch.
And I don't think I'm the only one who did that. I mean, the reason I didn't go to the game last night was I wanted to see the national championship game. I work in college football. I wanted to see the championship game, and I was able to see both. And I didn't that makes me a bad fan and knock me out. I mean, that's how it is. But I know I'm not the only person on that. All right, Lenny. Good morning to you. Hi, Lenny.
Morning. You're not a bad fan because of the simple fact is the championship is one event a year.
Yeah.
The Lobos have how many games left on their home schedule?
Probably 7 or 8.
Right, and they still haven't really got into the meat of the conference. But now they're going to have to start winning because while they played great in the non-conference, this is what matters now for getting into the tournament.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're not a bad fan. I mean, I watched that game last night, and at halftime I decided I had other things to do, like close my eyes, because it was over.
It was brutal. It was.
You know, and it looked like last night, like an NFL team playing a high-end college team.
Yeah, I felt like I was watching a JV game. I was.
Yeah.
It was TCU was so outmatched. It was a bummer.
It kind of reminded me of the old Nebraska, Miami football teams, where you would see Nebraska down by like 7, and then, you know, like I heard on the radio this morning, you go to the restroom or go in the kitchen, you come back, and all of a sudden they're up by 21, and you go, what happened?
It was quick, and it was dominant, and it was decisive, and it was everything, all of that, yes.
And the thing is, now this is their 3rd national championship game they've gone to in, 5 years?
Georgia, I believe that's right, yeah.
Okay, 1 or 2 in a row. And now with NIL and everything that they're getting with the beatdowns that they're doing, they could lose 15, 20 players a year and quickly reshuffle the deck and still be where they're at again next year.
As they did. I mean, it's exactly what they did.
So, you know, the year of Alabama reigning terror on the league is over. I mean, maybe it'll change a little bit in 2 years when they go to 12 teams, but TCU becomes now the 3rd unranked team to make it to the national championship game and lose.
Yeah, initially unranked.
Make a 2A championship game and lose.
Okay.
I think was Notre Dame was one. I can't remember who the other
teams
one was.
who weren't ranked when the first rankings came out.
Right, unranked when the first rankings came out.
Or at
And
least at the
then,
beginning of the season.
you know, I'm still going to give TCU credit because they beat everyone in front of them and made up for the loss. So you can't take anything away. And I would still rather make it to the championship and lose than not make it at all because it's still going to help TCU's program.
100%.
So, but yeah, it was a train wreck, and you know, nothing you can do about it.
Move on.
So now let's move on to the NFL real quick.
Okay.
What happened to Dak Prescott this weekend? Because if he plays like that next week against Tampa Bay, it's over.
You're right.
And the thing is, Brady is a little bit on the upswing right now. You see him connecting with Evans last week, twice? His numbers are starting to pick up, and Brady in the playoff is a dangerous prop, especially at home. I don't know what Dallas is doing. I mean, Prescott probably had, the worst game of his career?
Maybe. Yeah, I didn't look at the stats comparative to other games.
I think he was like 15 or 35.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
And then I'm going to do two things real quick. I don't know what Brandon Staley was doing playing the starters when you knew your position already in the playoffs, and then you see what happens with a starter with Mike Williams getting carted off. Why risk your starters when you know you can't improve your playoff position?
No idea.
And just play your backups and rest everyone.
Almost got Mike Williams hurt. Yep.
So, and then lastly, did Lovie Smith know no matter what he was going to do in that game, he was going to get fired, and just decided, you know what? If I'm going to get fired, I'm going to prevent them from getting the number one pick and go for the 2-point conversion.
I would guess Lovie Smith had a pretty good idea what his fate was. I would say probably. All right, man. Good stuff. Thanks, Lenny. See
Thank you. Have a good one.
Do you think Lovie Smith knew?
Probably did. I think that's the most overblown conversation of the weekend.
Because players try to win games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, oh, if you didn't get the number one pick, like Chicago's not taking a quarterback.
So
relax.
I heard a theory where they might, and I'm going to run it by you when we get back, and see your thoughts, because it's not like ridiculously far-fetched, a little bit far-fetched. Rick, we're going to come to you as well. Terrence Math is going to be with us at 8 o'clock this morning. Lobo, great from the past, who got the call yesterday for the College Football Hall of Fame. 505-246-0610. We're going back to you when we return. I want to tell you about International Protective Service, IPS. They protect my home. They protect businesses all over Albuquerque, homes as well, because the bad guys are out there. Property crimes on the increase. The officer shortage is legit. And this is affordable private security to keep safe what you've worked so hard to build. Your business, your home, and certainly your family. Back in 2006, Aaron Jones started this company to protect homes in Fort Hills. And now all these years later, here he is. They're watching homes and businesses all over Albuquerque. I've trusted them for years, and they're by every day when I'm out of town. They just picked up a package that was dropped off, so somebody else didn't grab it. They secure it until we get back, and now Addie's got her gift from her Nana. I left the garage door open one time. They sat there until someone came down and closed it in the middle of the night, making sure nobody comes in. Just that's what they do. They're looking out for you. And if your alarm goes off, they're there within 5 to 7 minutes with an armed, trained security officer. Committed to our city and your protection. Call IPS at 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420, or online at ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young, here's one up off the rim. Jarek Dudal with that shot, and Mask underneath. Defense is not there in time. Good move by Justin Mask.
Well, first.
Nice pass. That's working that flex offense right there. And there's another timeout for Coach Bardella.
Montez scans the scene, finds the corner, shot is up. Ooh, there's another one. Aris, that's 9 for Aris as she's hit.
And Coach Segura said there have been some injuries on Preps as far as the players, so maybe playing zone right now.
Fights 3 is good. Jackson Fight knocks it down for the left side, from the left side for the Sun Devils. They lead by 10.
They're playing.
A perfect 36 on his ACT composite. Big 3! Carried in by Dylan McCleskey.
Trifectas of her own. Fires it off down low. Campos off the glass, and there it is.
Quick this shot, they got a shot up with 5 seconds.
Transition 3's up, and it hit the buzzer by Ian Hoinsberg.
Picture perfect execution. Ball it hit the ground in 5 seconds.
Ball is stolen away by Montoya. Sartans are on the break. Calb finds Trujillo. Pump fake. Trujillo was rejected by Terrell. Rebounded by Calb. Hook shot is up. It's good. 2 points for Brian Calb.
Go one-on-one, and this is good things usually have. Oh, great.
H.A. Rivera.
I think the story in this one is the pressure defense that has turned up. They force another turnover. Calb's on the break.
Throw it down.
Calb puts it down. Brian Calb with the dunk in transition.
The Sports Animal.
All right, I got some theories on the number 1 pick with the Bears, too. The fact that they absolutely won't take a quarterback, I'm going to throw something at you as well. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Hey, Rick, thanks for holding. Good morning. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning. Hello to beautiful New Mexico. How are you guys doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, what's happening?
All right, well, I'm calling here from Minneapolis, Minnesota. As you know, the Vikings are hosting the New York Giants on Sunday, so Minnesota is very, very excited to host a playoff game since the Minneapolis Miracle 5 years ago. So it's been a long, long wait. So the Vikings are ready for the Giants.
What Kirk Cousins are we going to get on this weekend? Which Kirk Cousins? Regular season Kirk Cousins, playoff Kirk Cousins? Because it's really, really big for him in that franchise.
This is true. You know, you have to remember, go back to 2020, the last time Kirk Cousins was in a playoff environment with the Vikings, played against the 49ers at the divisional round, and also played against the Saints on the wild card weekend. So that Kirk Cousins against the New Orleans Saints performed really, really well. If you guys remember, that game went into overtime, and with 2 big-time throws, one to Adam Thielen and another one to Kyle Rudolph, the Vikings defeated the 13-3 Saints. So I'm hoping to see the high-performing Kirk Cousins that we've seen with 8 comebacks in 2022 to win games. The Kirk Cousins that has done really, really well under this new Kevin O'Connell scheme. I don't want to see the Kirk Cousins that we saw against the Eagles and that we saw against the Cowboys and that we saw against the when the Vikings have been steamrolled. So everybody's excited here in the Twin Cities, and I feel good. I think the Giants are a team that matches up pretty evenly with the Vikings. But being at home, I think Minnesota will take this one.
All right, just control Saquon. Let's talk about it next week, Rick, after it happens. Appreciate you listening up there. Be warm.
Thank you.
Take care. Rick called us from Minneapolis.
That's
huh?
so nice.
That's awesome.
I just love, because my friends are like, I'm listening. I'm like, that's so
I
great.
think it's beautiful. I mean, there's good sports radio up there, too.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're listening to us. Adolph's listening here in the book. Okay, what's up, Adolph?
Not that much. I had to stop watching that national championship game.
It was rough.
That was a total debacle. And there's no way that TCU should have they didn't belong on the same field as Georgia. And the bigger thing, though, in my mind, is when is the NCAA playoff expansion. What year is that supposed to take place?
There's one more year of this format, and then they're going to 12. One more year of this.
Okay. Well, the SEC is the big dog of the Power 5 conferences. You have them, and then you have the 4 also ran conferences. And this is not good for college football. I'm glad that they're expanding, because all that's going to do is teams that shouldn't be in there, they're going to be eliminated straight up, okay, right away. And I really, TCU is that kind of beatdown has a detrimental effect on recruiting. You're on the biggest stage that your sport offers, and to give up 60 some odd points, these kids nowadays, they want to be on a big stage, but they don't want to get embarrassed. And so teams like TCU, the Big 12, the Pac, soon to be the Pac-10, the ACC, those conferences, they're going to be hurt because everybody wants to go to play for the big dog, and the big dogs are in the SEC.
Yeah, I'll tell you where it hurts them, Adolph. Here's what I think. It hurts them if they're recruiting against Georgia. It doesn't hurt them if they're recruiting against Oklahoma or Texas because they're there. It doesn't hurt them if they're recruiting against Michigan because they beat Michigan. It hurts them if they're recruiting against Georgia, maybe even Alabama, maybe Tennessee, but they were there. So if you're deciding between Georgia and TCU, yeah, you made up your mind last night. You're going to play for the big dogs. But if you're being recruited by TCU, TCU, Oklahoma, Kansas State, and Illinois, where are you going?
Yeah, I understand that, and I don't know if it's common knowledge, but the team, the organization that's really making inroads with regard to attracting players in the portal, University of Colorado. And the reason why is because they had the foresight to hire Deion Sanders. And from what I'm hearing, players are going to the University of Colorado through that portal. And that is going to be a game changer.
It can be. It can be.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, because these kids nowadays, they want to go where the big dogs go.
Yep. All right, Adolph.
Attracting the big dogs.
Yeah, and that's where they're going. No, and it's going to be interesting to watch Colorado. Thanks for the call, because I think it's good stuff. Thanks, Adolph. Do you think it hurts TCU? I mean, look, getting beat 65-7 doesn't help you. But they're on that stage, and 129 other Division I schools were not. That includes Oklahoma, Alabama, Texas, Michigan, Ohio State, everybody else.
There are not kids decommitting from TCU because of what happened last night.
Unless they're going to Georgia, right? And I think that's right. The Colorado thing is interesting, and I know everybody's convinced that they're going to be a player within the next year or two, and I think that's probably right. It's going to be interesting to see how Deion does this, and how he has to stay in a little bit more of a format. He did whatever he wanted at Jackson State, right? It was it. I got to believe there's going to be a little bit more, I don't know, rules, control, constraints at Colorado?
In regards to just
you don't have
attitude.
Free reign. You don't have free reign like you did at Jackson
Kind of
State.
does.
As of now, he does.
That football program's terrible.
They're horrible.
And
well, that's why they went and got him.
That's Deion Sanders is made for college football in 2023.
I think that's probably right.
NIL, transfer portal.
Yep.
And it could it be a flash in the pan? Sure, but CU will take it if they're competitive. 3 or 4 years, maybe get a chance to play in a conference title game, sniff 12-team college football playoff. It's all worth it.
JD, how were the Lobos last night?
They were great.
Yeah.
So I thought that they played much, much better and more in control, and they did what they needed to do. And I thought getting Alec involved early on was really important. I thought he played really well. You could definitely tell that they were refocused. And I think that Oral Roberts will probably win their conference tournament and make the NCAA tournament. It's a really good team. They had some pretty talented guys on there.
Yep.
But I still think that UNLV would have beat them. I still think Fresno State would have beat them.
Okay.
So It was a good win for the Lobos, but I don't think it really reclaimed much. Saturday's going to be a battle. Saturday's going to be tough for them, but we'll see how they do.
How important is
National
Saturday to you?
Championship. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
How important is Saturday to you? I know JJ called yesterday, kind of got a win game because they lost 2 in a row. They're going to San Diego. They had to get on track, and I agree with JJ on that. I don't look at Saturday in San Diego as a kind of got a win game. I don't know where you feel.
I don't, because I don't. Yeah, I just don't. I mean, I'm not going to say that they're going to just give in and say, okay, we're going to be 0-3, but depends on how they play. If they get blown out, that could be detrimental to them, right? So let's see how they do, because it'll be an interesting game for them, because that team is pretty good. They started, top of the year, they were in the top 15?
Yeah, they're 23rd now.
Something like that?
Yeah, they lost.
So we'll see how they do. It's important for us. I mean, if we start 0-3, you're got to dig out of a hole, because now you're going to be.
Well, you won your first 2. You'd be 2-3. You'd have lost 3 conference games in a row, but you won your first 2 conference games.
Yeah.
Beat Colorado
that's
State,
true.
Wyoming.
Yeah. And then in the national championship game, so instead of expanding it, why don't they just go to a round robin where you got to lose twice to be out?
Yeah.
Because Georgia could have beat anybody. Michigan might have been physical enough to hang with them for a little while.
Maybe.
But if TCU put that many up on them, then Georgia probably would have done the same, right? But instead of doing that, just take the 4 and let them play. And when you lose twice, you're out.
Yeah, it's more TV to watch. Yeah, it's interesting.
Because then last night you would have had Michigan, Ohio State on the other side, and the only team left for Georgia to play would have been either the winner of that, which if Ohio State lost, then yeah, you would have had to turn around and play Michigan.
They'd have to play them twice. Yeah, they'll never do that.
Yeah.
But it's an
I know,
interesting
but it would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. All right, JD,
Yep.
be well.
Thanks.
See you. Kevin, stay there. I want to get to you when we get back. Got to take this break. You know, we never really got into, and these comparative scores we play all the time. We never got into what happened on Saturday in conference play. Colorado State blew the doors off of Fresno State on Saturday in Fort Collins, 79-57. That Fresno State team that beat the Lobos last Tuesday up in California went up to Fort Collins last week and got blued out of Moby, 79-57. That's a Colorado State team that got blued out of the pit. Any given night in this league, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. All right, we're going back to the phones, 505-246-0610. When we come back, coming up at 8 o'clock, Terrence Mathis is going to be with us, the former Lobo great, the former NFLer, who got the call from the College Football Hall of Fame yesterday. Looking forward to catching him. He's as good of an offensive player and maybe the best, I don't know, maybe, probably, the best. And I'll love Dontrell Moore. I mean, Dontrell was great. Terrence Mathis is probably the best offensive player that ever played at the University of New Mexico. Maybe. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Holidays are gone. Time for you to take care of you and your vehicle. It's the perfect time now to call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They will come to you wherever and whenever it's convenient and detail your vehicle. What does that mean? Inside, outside, under the hood, under the seats, around the rims, around the tires. It will look, feel, and smell brand new when they are done. And the odds are you're going to have that car for a while. Take care of it. Make it look good. Make it just maintain your vehicle, because it's going to be there for a while. Ask them about their ceramic coating as well. This is the best way to protect your paint for years. They apply it by hand. It starts at $250, and they offer you a lifetime warranty with that. Also a 10% discount for our military. Schedule online at otsdetailing.com. That's otsdetailing.com. Or you can call them at 505-859-2859. That's 505-859-2859.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
That was the score last night of the National Championship game. Georgia over TCU, 505-246-0610. Kevin wants to talk about that. Kevin, thanks for holding. Good morning. How you doing?
Great. Adolph didn't like it. It hurt recruiting, he said.
or was it the other guy didn't like it? I loved it. I loved it. I am Tiny Tim, tiptoe through the tulips. It could have been predicted. Kirby B. Smart, great IQ. Who was his mentor? Nick Saban. Yep. He resurrects coaches. Steve Sarkisian, he does. And also, this could have been predicted. They lost to Kansas State, and they also lost to Baylor. Barely beat Baylor. And people play this on emotion because they throttled Oklahoma, but then they got throttled themselves. So with that in mind, this could have been predicted. What should have happened was, as all the dust cleared, Ohio State should have been there. And that's another thing about TCU. Everybody thought that the Colossus of Michigan over there, it doesn't happen. In the old days, when the Pac-12 or the Pac-8 played Ohio State in their conference, the Pac-8 owned them all the time. Ohio State, Michigan. Mm-hmm. Neither Woody Hayes nor Bo Schembechler could beat them. They just owned them. And so this could have been predicted and all this other stuff like that. I got a lot of stuff done, but I was tiptoe through the tulips. I loved it, especially the throttling. Watching the TCU fans leave the game was the same thing. I was watching the Oklahoma fans leave the game when they were in there. I loved it. Tiptoe through the tulips.
Enjoy
Thanks
that,
for taking
Kevin.
the call.
No, obviously, Kevin, that's a big one for Kevin. Enjoy. All right, let me give you this theory on the Bears. Okay, Chicago Bears have the number 1 overall pick in the NFL, and people are losing their mind about Houston and Houston. All right, I'm going to give you a couple of premises before we start. Do you believe Justin Fields will be better than Bryce Young in the NFL?
I do.
Okay. I know there's a lot of general managers who feel Bryce Young will be better than Justin Fields. Okay. I've heard, Justin Fields will be a B-plus quarterback, probably a top 10 guy. And Bryce Young could be special. Okay. If you believe that, what is Justin Fields worth on the market if you're the Bears? If you call Carolina, Seattle, the Jets, can you get a 1 and a 3 and probably something more than that?
Oh, yeah.
All right. What if the Bears decide they like Bryce Young better? They say, hey, the Jets or Seattle or Carolina or Houston, for that matter, give me a 1 and a 3 and, hell, try to get a 1 and a 2 and a 3. I'll give you Justin Fields. You go get Bryce Young. You start the quarterback clock over again, right? So now you don't have to pay your quarterback in 2 years. Now you're still all these picks. If you believe in Bryce Young, and you can go out and load up defensively, weapon-wise, offensive line-wise, and you start your quarterback clock over again. Jacksonville Jaguars kind of did that, right? They didn't need a quarterback with the overall number 1 last year. They loaded up, and they're in the playoffs this year with a young quarterback. It's a theory. I'm not sure I'm totally bought and sold on that, but it made me think, if you think Bryce Young is better than Justin Fields, you got an opportunity here to cash in.
I like it because you have to survey every option. Whether you're a team that has one of those, hey, maybe Jared Goff is our guy, but what if one of these guys is there? Like, you have to think about everything on the table. And my initial reaction was easy. If you're Houston, don't worry about it. Bears are going to take best player available. You're going to get one of those quarterbacks, which you still are.
You're going to get
at
one
number
of them,
2,
yeah.
But maybe not the one you want. And then for Chicago, play in that game. Not only could you hold it over one of the teams that really likes one of those quarterbacks, and then start throwing it out there. Oh, maybe we'll take this guy. We'll trade Justin Fields. You start driving up the price, and you want to get in that bidding war. You want to see what offers are there, because Chicago, you're going to come out a winner either way. Justin Fields can play in this league, and he's a dynamic, explosive player, and can still end up taking who you believe is the best non-quarterback in this draft.
If you believe Bryce Young is better, if you believe that, and there are general managers and football people who do believe that, then you've got the best of both worlds. You can have that guy and keep the number 1 and trade the quarterback of the future, restart your clock where you don't have to pay a quarterback $50 million a year, and load up everywhere else, and you can get good quickly if Justin Fields is good. I'm sorry, if Bryce Young is good. I don't know if I buy into it completely, but I don't dismiss it. And I hadn't heard it before. It's not my take, but I heard it and I'm like, it just made me think. I don't think it's a horrible concept. You do?
I think they found their quarterback, and I think if anything, they would trade down to get a bunch of things to build around. I think they want to build around Justin Fields, but you're making my head spin.
Well, what if they believe that Bryce Young's better than Justin Fields? And there are people who do. I mean, Bryce Young's going to be a 1 or 2 pick. Justin Fields was
absolutely.
Where was he picked? Fifth in the teens?
Yeah.
No, Justin Fields was 9th.
He was 9th.
And teams missed on Justin Fields.
No, they did. They did.
That just made my head spin, though. That's a good thought.
But it's making you think, right?
It's making me think. I just think that the Bears found their quarterback, and they're going to build around him.
See, that's what's the hard part. Here's a franchise who forever...
You already know, because you've experienced him now, so...
Yeah. And
they have nothing around him.
But forever they've been looking for a quarterback, and they think they've got one.
Yeah.
Now do you say, boy, this could come back and burn you, right? This could be the Babe Ruth trade, and he goes somewhere else, and he becomes great, and you traded him, and you swing and whiff on Bryce Young. But you'd have all these other picks too, right? You still have you still keep your number 1 with Bryce Young. You'd get somebody else's number 1. Your quarterback clock would start over again. You could load up your roster. I don't hate the concept if and it's got to be if I think Bryce Young is better than Justin Fields, and I don't know that I think that. That's up to the evaluation people there. I see both. Yeah. I can hear
the
the
only
gears
thing
grinding.
I keep thinking about, too, is Lamar Jackson. That's the other thing I keep thinking. He's going to go somewhere for something.
I think he's going to be franchised in Baltimore. I really do.
He wants to get paid.
I know he does. Everybody wants to get paid.
I know.
And he'll get paid.
That's the only one that's spinning in my head.
He'll get paid for a year.
Besides Justin Fields.
All right, we're talking to Terrence Mathis when we get back.
That's a good
the
one.
Former Lobo great, who is now a College Football Hall of Famer. Terrence Mathis next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 630 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Cumulus Media Station, the sports animal. Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and J.J. Bob.
Well, this was long overdue, and the news came down yesterday, and so many of you said it's about time. Probably the best offensive player in the history of Lobo football. Terrence Mathis got the call from the College Football Hall of Fame, and he will be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame at the 65th Annual Awards Dinner in Vegas in December of this year. Terrence Mathis is a Hall of Famer after an insane career at UNM, went on to play in the NFL and had a great career with the Jets, the Falcons, and the Steelers there. But from 85 to 87 and then in 89, finished his career as the first player and at this point still the only player after 30 years since he left in school history with 250 receptions, 4,000 receiving yards, 6,000 all-purpose yards. One of his former teammates just said to me he legitimately was a guy every time he touched the ball you thought he could score. Terrence Mathis is a Hall of Famer, and he joins us this morning on the opening drive with Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck and A. Marie. Terrence, congratulations, man. How you doing?
I am doing well, and thank you so much, and good morning to you guys.
Well, good morning. There's so many people around here who are just thrilled for you. How did you get the news that you are a Hall of Famer?
You know what? I was totally surprised. It's funny. My doorbell rang, and it was my termite inspector guy. And then there was a box sitting on my front porch, and I'm going, well, this is not for me. I'm not opening it. So it had my name on it, and I opened the box, and there was a football in there. And I didn't read the inscription. I just seen my name on it. And I was like, what is this for? So I pulled the envelope out, sat down on the couch, because I kind of figured out what it was. And I didn't know if it was like, well, you know, you were considered, blah, blah, blah. But then when I read the letter, I had to read it 3 or 4 times to make sure it said what it said. And I was just speechless for a moment. I called my wife and my youngest daughter, and they were screaming and hollering. Then I wasn't supposed to announce it publicly until after ESPN did it yesterday afternoon. So then after that, I reached out to my sisters, and my middle sister was in tears. She was just bawling. We were all on FaceTime, and she was just bawling. And it was, and I got emotional because I finally realized that, you know, you accomplished something that many others have done and many others that have not. And it was a time where, you know, it was emotional because my mother was there in support all those years and helped me get through certain things. And she was, you know, rest her soul, she didn't have an opportunity to be, she won't have the opportunity to be at the banquet, but in spirit she'll be there. So it was not here. And as I said to Van Tate yesterday, when I spoke to him, I said, even though this award is recognizing me for my accomplishment, but this award is deserving to many people that was a part of my life from the beginning to today that made all this possible. So I can accept it on behalf of not only my family, my teammates, my coaches, the fans in Albuquerque, the people that I've met in Albuquerque, and it's just a phenomenal thing. And my wife laughed at me this morning because I was up at 5:30 this morning. She said, "You just feel excited." I'm like, "Yes, I am."
You should be. Terrence Mathis is a Hall of Famer. If the termite guy didn't come, Lord knows, do you use the front door? You coming through the garage? I think he'll still be sitting there for days.
Through the garage.
Yeah.
It'll probably sat there for a couple of days.
It's so cool. You kind of said it, but I don't know if the question is, what does it mean to you? Did you expect it? You've been out of football for a couple of minutes now. I know you're coaching high school football, but an award like this, and you look at the class, you look at the guys you're going in with now, right? I mean, this is Reggie Bush. I don't know if they got to give him his Heisman back, but he's going into the Hall of Fame. Michael James is on there, and then there's Terrence Mathis and Tim Tebow and Bryant Westbrook and D'Angelo Williams. Like, you're going in, you belong, Terrence Mathis.
Well, it's phenomenal that you're going in with such a esteemed class, and it's just one of those. It's hard to put in words, but knowing that you're going in with this esteemed class, but understanding that you're one of the best to ever do it, is still surreal to me. It's just, you don't go to college. I didn't come to Albuquerque, to the University of New Mexico, to break records. I didn't come to get awards. I came because I wanted a championship. I wanted to be the best that I can be to help this football program win a championship, and we did not do that. But in the process of trying that, great things happen. And you look back 30 plus years and go, wow. I looked at the picture, and I hate that they put up a black and white picture. It makes it seem like I'm 70 years old.
Not yet.
But I was looking at that picture, and I remember taking that picture, and I just had a big smile on my face. I said, "Look at this 18-year-old kid right there."
What a stud!
I said, "That's amazing."
What a stud! He's Terrence Mathis with us on the opening drive. The former Lobo. He's been to the Super Bowl. He's been to the Pro Bowl, and now he's going to the College Football Hall of Fame.
Well, Terrence, you're a kid from Detroit, Michigan. You played high school football in Georgia. How did you wind up at the University of New Mexico?
Here's one of the people that played a big part of my success in college athletics, and that was Ben Griffith. Rest his soul. Ben Griffith was the offensive coordinator my freshman and sophomore year at UNM, but he was the offensive coordinator prior to that at Georgia Southern, and he was recruiting me at Georgia Southern as a quarterback. And he went on to New Mexico, and he continued to recruit me as a quarterback to come play at the University of New Mexico, and they had one scholarship left. And Joe Lee Dunn offered me that scholarship. And that's how I got to the University of New Mexico, the only Division I school who offered me a scholarship. And the funny thing about that is recruiters was coming in and out of the school, and I remember one recruiter telling me that I was too small to play in the SEC and to play for the University of Tennessee. And I always reflect on that story because here I am today going into the College Hall of Fame when you told me I wasn't big enough to play what it is now, Power 5 football. So that was a motivator for me to do some of the things that I've done in my life. But Ben Griffith was the one who convinced my mom that I was going to be okay to leave Georgia to come to Albuquerque, New Mexico.
And what was that transition like for you, making that jump to Albuquerque, playing at the University of New Mexico? I know you dabbled in the basketball. You could have been an outstanding basketball player. So what was your time in Albuquerque like?
Well, when I first got there, I couldn't believe. I was like, where am I? Because in the South, you have trees and flowers and all these things and just so beautiful. And then I stepped out of the airport and I looked to the east of me, and there was mountains, and to the west of me there was the desert, and there was no high rises or anything whatsoever. And I'm going, oh my goodness, what is this? And then the altitude and the culture was different whatsoever. And I said, well, I used to call my mom collect every day until about the second week. She told me, boy, you better stop calling me collect and grow up. So I had to grow up in a hurry because I couldn't just get on a plane or drive a car and go home to see mom, you know, during holidays or spring breaks, you know, those things. So the adjustment was the adjustment was difficult at first, but when you know, Ben Griffith, they used to tell, you know, the joke around, you know, the locker room was that he was my dad. You know, your dad, your son, because he took me up under his wing and helped me grow up. And not just him, Billy Rucker, Ned James, Troy Cluis, all guys, Fred Mady, guys like that, Donnie Gasaway, and just took me up under their wing, Steve Webster, Charleston Fives. I can go on, and just took me up under their wings when they didn't have to, and made sure that I was comfortable at the university and in the city of Albuquerque.
You know, I hear stories from guys who knew you, guys who played with you all the time, and you and I have met once or twice, but I hear, you know, former Lobos, Jeff Apodaca, Scott Cregan, guys that just tell me stories about you all the time, and just loved you. And I went to another WAC school at the time, and I remember watching you play with awe. So as you hit this point in your life, where does this rank? You had a 12-year NFL career. You were a Pro Bowler in the National Football League. A guy who wasn't big enough to play in the SEC, but you were good enough to play 12 years in the NFL. You played in the Super Bowl. Now this, and I don't know if you can even rank them, but where does this rank?
You know what? This ranks pretty high because, you know, when you're older, if this would have happened earlier in my lifetime, I don't think I would have appreciated it as much as I do now because of the fact that I am 55 years old and I, you know, coach younger athletes, have the desire to be a college head coach and all those things. So I think it ranks high. I would say out of all my football experiences, it just hit the top 5. It just hit the top 5, and it may, as the days go on, it may keep climbing.
Well, look, I mean, your list is full. Consensus All-American in 1989, Pro Bowler in 1994, second team All-Pro in 1994. You played in the Super Bowl. You still hold records around here. You still keep pretty good tabs and close watch on UNM football?
Yes, I do. I really do. From the days that I left to today, I keep close tabs on everything that's going around. I try to keep a pulse on the community, the football community, the athletes there, the administration, the staff. I try to be, you know, keep a pulse on them because you got to understand is that I always said, you know, wherever you've played and poured your heart and soul out at, it's in you. From high school to college to the NFL, whatsoever, it's just in you because of the fact that you ingrained your what I say your DNA into a place where it's home. It feels like home. It's comfortable. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's a place that where you matured. Think about it. An 18-year-old teenager comes all across country, and then a city and a state and a community gravitates to you and help you grow into the man that you are today and help you to achieve some of the things that you achieved on the football field and in the classroom. It's part of your life. It's your family. It's part of your story. And I will always have not only Lobo football and the University of New Mexico, but the city and its fans and its people and its culture and its food will be part of my story as long as I live.
Always the food. See, it's always the food, man. It's always. Hey, Terrence, this has been great. It's great catching up with you, and you made an indelible mark on Lobo Fan. because of the person you are, not just because you're still in the record book, not because you look at some of these single season records and marks that'll probably never be broken around here, but recognized as the greatest offensive player in Lobo football history, and now recognized by the world as a Hall of Famer. Congratulations, my friend. Appreciate you spending a few minutes with us, and hopefully get to see you soon.
Hey, man, thank you guys, and may God continue to bless you and your show. Thank you.
Be well. He's a Hall of Famer, Terrence Mathis. That was pretty special. I know some of you old timers really appreciated that, and those of you who aren't old timers, I think it was hopefully you got a little glimpse. This was a guy, JJ, as dynamic as there was, and like I said, one of his former teammates just texted me, said every time he touched the ball, he could score. It's the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
And if you'd like to hear it again, we will have it up on all our podcast places, wherever you get podcasts. Go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com, or just search for Opening Drive. It'll be there. If Terrence didn't have termites, he might not know he's in the Hall of Fame yet.
Just drop it off.
And that's how the College Football Hall of Fame lets you know. They ring your doorbell like the UPS guy and just drop a box in front of your house.
Can they should have a thing. You have to ask for a sign, like a signature.
Yes.
That's what they should do.
I mean, I don't want to disparage our town, but
No.
Porch Pirates are here. If he lived in Albuquerque, he might never know, unless he had IPS, right? He might never know he was in the Hall of Fame. What is this? How long do you think that box was sitting on his porch?
Oh, I don't know.
For those of you just joining us, Terrence found out, he said the termite guy came and rang the doorbell, and he went to get the door, and he used the garage. That's how he comes in and out of his house, and there's a box in there. He's like, well, this isn't for me. Well, it's got my name on it. All right, I'll open it up, and there's a football in there and a letter saying, hey, congratulations. Like, that's how they do it? In the NFL, like, they have that dude, right? That one dude that goes by, and the hell, man? It's kind of crazy. It's awesome for him. It is awesome for him. And I got this text from one of his former teammates. It says it says, no doubt the best wide receiver ever to play at UNM. Every time, and I mean every time he touched the ball, he could score. He was perfect for the West Coast offense we switched to when he showed up. And yes, my senior year, Terrence was a freshman. I also returned punts and kickoff. I broke my wrist and had to play with a cast. They asked me to give Terrence a chance since I had a cast on. Let's just say I became Terrence's blocking back on punt returns. He was amazing and had a lot of TD returns too. And a shame that he hasn't had a chance to coach here. I thought that was great. I don't know what's on the YouTube with his highlights, but he was dynamic. And again, 12 years in the NFL. Wasn't good enough to play in the SEC.
One of the biggest accomplishments of his football career is the fact that in 1994, he had 111 catch NFL season.
In the NFL.
In 94.
Yeah. Pretty amazing, isn't it? That was with the Falcons. He was really good with the Falcons. That's the year he was a Pro Bowler. He was all pro. 250 receptions at UNM, over 4,000 receiving yards, over 6,000 all-purpose yards, and still holds a bunch of single-season records. He was terrific.
No one is going to break his single-season
what?
receiving record. So just over 1,300 yards.
Yeah, it's going to be tough around here, right? And unless they change what they're doing. They throw for 1,300 yards last year, like as a team. Honestly, I know that
the last
sounds
quarterback
stupid.
was actually Tabaka. He threw for 1,460 yards in 2019.
So I mean, you have their whole team isn't throwing for that much. Yeah. Bruin James, good morning. Hello, James.
Good morning, guys.
How's the weather?
Good morning. It's it was raining yesterday.
That's all it does. It rains in California.
And it was raining, and went to the Rose Bowl and watched Utah and Penn State, and kind of disappointed. I thought Utah was gonna, give them a good game, and they didn't. They act like they didn't want to be there.
Crazy.
But last night's game, wow, it looked like TCU just gave up. I mean, in that 3-3-5, you know, I mean, Rocky Long did a good job in inventing that, but man, Georgia just ate it up last night, and TCU just couldn't. Georgia would just get their guys on the outside and just, I mean, and it was just crazy. The talent. I mean, before Robert Griffin said, "Oh, you need 3 stars." No, man, you need 5 stars, bro. So
that's all they got.
Hey, you guys have a good one, and take care.
All right, see you. Yeah, that's all they got. I mean, Georgia is just, I tell you, I don't think stars matter. At least they don't. You know, when I look at this stuff, I'm like, yeah, whatever. What do these stars mean? What does it all mean, right? I guess it means something. I guess it really means something, because they are just loaded in recruiting, and they lost. This is where Kirby Smart played this whole narrative all year. Kirby Smart, the coach at Georgia, that nobody thought we could repeat. And I'm like, everybody did, dude. And maybe it was, like I said earlier, in your own mind, we lost 15 guys to the NFL. How it's going to be hard. Maybe he set the tone. Or like I said, maybe it was some guy in the South just yelled one time, they lost 15 guys to the NFL. They can't repeat. They ain't going to be able to put it back together. Alabama going to whoop their ass. Right? I mean, that's probably where this narrative came from. Because, JJ, I heard nobody sing.
Well, yeah, but it's also Kirby Smart created it.
Yeah.
For his team. We lost 15 draft picks. This isn't going to be easy.
Okay.
So he created that, and he ran with
it. So he's the one who said it?
Probably, because he said it all. That's all he said last night after the game. We lost 15 draft picks. It wasn't going to be easy. But then Stetson Bennett came in and said, let's do it again. I'm like, I don't know. This ain't going to be easy, Stetson.
Where's Stetson Bennett in the lore of college football quarterbacks? He will not be one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks ever. He might be a Brock Purdy type of a guy. I don't know. But he will not be one of the best ever, right? In the NFL. I mean, maybe he will be. Shoot, I don't know.
He's a legend in college football. I didn't even know how you put that list together.
Well, Tebow and him, and guys who win multiple ones and have that emotional, that great story behind them, right? I mean, Peyton Manning kind of was blue chip all the way, groomed to be that. He's a different guy, but the Stetson Bennettts, the Tim Tebows, heck, I'd even throw the Kellen Moores in there, Boise, but it won't be on a national level. But guys like that guys who are great college quarterbacks that may not be great NFL quarterbacks, there's something different about those guys, right?
And I think there's something different with Stetson Bennett because he is sneaky athletic. And when you look at some of these quarterbacks we've seen in these, going back, I can think like A.J. McCarron, a Mac Jones. Like, I think Stetson Bennett he's more than just a college football legend. Like, if I'm a good football team and he's sitting there in the 3rd or 4th round, I'm like, yeah, let's bring this kid in the backup.
Especially after seeing what Brock Purdy's doing for the 49ers, right?
And Purdy wasn't a college football legend.
No, hardly. I think Herbstreit said he's faster than anybody gives him credit for. I mean, the way he got around the edge, he never got touched. TCU's got good athletes, man. They're fast. They're so much faster than TCU. All right, 505-246-0610. Here's the rest of the way you can respond to what Terrence Mathis had to say. Hope you heard that and enjoyed that. We're going to get more into Louisville basketball. What it means going forward, they got to go to San Diego and play the Aztecs this week. So what did that game mean last night as they get ready now to go play San Diego State? So 505-246-0610. Hey, I found the best jeweler, period. Like, I literally was at John Thomas Jewelers the other day and amazed by what I saw, by not just the variety, but the creativity and what they have there. It was unlike any other jeweler I've been to in New Mexico, period. It's up on the 3rd floor, 2400 Louisiana Boulevard, Suite 310. So you gotta go to want to find John Thomas Jewelers, but I think you want to find them. They do more custom jewelry in a week than most jewelers do in a year. If you can dream it, they can make it. And I watched it. They showed me how they customize every piece, and they've got all of these pieces set up in a drawer, and you put together the ring. So for bridal, this is it. and then they'll show you on a program, on a screen, what it'll look like, and then they've got a 3D printer that they can kind of print out what it'll feel like. They've been voted the best jeweler in Albuquerque 2 years in a row. They're the only 5-star Google rated jeweler in the state. They're the only preferred jeweler in Albuquerque, making them the only jeweler in town that gives free lifetime nationwide warranty. They've got the only 3D capable laser engraver in the state. I'm just telling you, for bridal and for any jewelry needs, John Thomas Jewelers blows it out of the park. They were amazing. Go experience what they've got. 2440 Louisiana Boulevard, Suite 310. Phone them 342-9200. That's area code 505-342-9200, or online at johnthomasjewelers.com. You're going to love it. If you can think it, they can make it.
Still looking at northbound backups tonight.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit.
All right, you guys enjoyed the conversation with Terrence Mathis, the Lobo, who is now a College Football Hall of Famer. If you want to hear it again or somehow missed it, it'll be up after the show, wherever we get our podcasts. Go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com. You can find it on Spotify and Apple and all those places. Go find the opening drive, and it'll be there. Ronnie says, Jeff and JJ, great interview. Mathis was the way before my time, but seems like the honor is very well deserved. This one says, from John, as an old-timer, I thoroughly enjoyed listening to Terrence. So happy for him, and he was such a stud on the field. What I remember most is that billion-dollar smile of his. Congratulations, Terrence. You deserve the honor. Mud says, I didn't see this till after. Ask Terrence about the live wolf. Do that next time. 505-246-0610. You guys are in on college football playoff on Terrence Mathis going to the Hall of Fame. And the Lobos' victory yesterday, 82-75 over Oral Roberts in the pit. And what does that mean? So they're going to go to San Diego on Saturday and play the team that is now the 23rd ranked team in the country. Okay. I think if they'd have gone in on a 3-game skid going into Viejas, this was going to be really, really tough for New Mexico just to emotionally sit on it for 4 days, know that the Aztecs are coming, and whether or not you would admit you're questioning yourself, I think you're questioning yourself. To have 2 losses at the pit, 3 in a row, and going into the team that is probably into the place that houses probably the best team in your league, right?
Yes.
And I think yesterday you called it a kind of got to win game. I think you were right. They won. They kind of had to have that game yesterday.
It would have been devastating at this point in the season, even with the opportunities that are there in the Mountain West, because the league is good and teams are going to get you, not just Fresno State. We saw San Jose State get UNLV. So there's opportunities to trip up, but there's opportunities to build the resume. But for the Lobos, just coming off the high of a 14-0 start into a 3-game losing streak, into a game where even if they beat UNLV and Oral Roberts, like San Diego State's a home favorite, as they should be. Like the Lobos would
even
build
if the Lobos were a one-loss team.
Yeah, like yeah. It's the same way the Lobos feel if one of those teams come into the pit.
Yeah.
Like you should be favored in your building. It would have been a devastating blow to the fan base. And the Oral Roberts win at least gets them kind of back up to where they were, even with the Fresno State loss.
Look, I get that the Oral Roberts thing doesn't resonate with many of you as fans, and JJ's read you the metrics, and somehow if it says Oral Roberts on the front of your shirt, like there's teams, JJ, I promise you, if you pulled up the net rankings right now, you could find a Pac-12 team, a Big 12 team, an SEC team who would be lower than Oral Roberts in the metrics by 50 to 60 to 70 slots. But Lobo fan would think it's a better win. And the reality is, when it comes down to what you guys really care about in March, and then there's a selection committee, and they're looking at what Oral Roberts did, who's now 13-4, who was now going to probably be a mid-70s ranked net team. It's a better win than it would have been against maybe a bigger name who you might feel better about, but it isn't going to do as much for you. And that's why this game was strategically scheduled after the New Mexico State games were erased from the schedule. They got San Francisco, who was a good net team. And if San Francisco would have held on and beat Gonzaga the other day, it would have been really helpful. And Oral Roberts. And so, look, is that the greatest win ever? It is not. But it was a pretty imperative game, a pretty vital win going into San Diego. I think it gives you a chance in San Diego. And this is counter to my theory, JJ, which team needs it the most when two teams are relatively close. I think if the Lobos would have got beat yesterday, like it's going to be hard going into Viejas anyway. I would have given them very little chance going into San Diego, wouldn't you? Just the whole above the shoulders thing. And now I give them a chance. I mean, if you're going to ask me who's going to win, San Diego State's going to be favored, right? By about, 4.5 points?
Yes. This is one where the Lobos need to split the series with the Aztecs. But I think it will be probably both teams winning on their home floor. If you get a road win, that goes up there as your second best win of the season. Could possibly be the first best win by the end of the year.
If you beat them there, that's a better win than St. Mary's.
Yeah.
It's a better win than St. Mary's. And St. Mary's had a longer win streak, but this is a better team than St. Mary's.
I think that's two different conversations.
I know St. Mary's beat them.
Like number wise versus just straight up team wise. Because I do think
St. Mary's beat San Diego State.
Yeah. So they're both really good teams. Yeah. But it would solidify yourself, and even if you don't win this one, the fact that you have it at home.
Yeah.
But coming in, if it was a 4-game losing streak,
and before you come in and blow me up, how could you say San Diego State's better than St. Mary's, even though St. Mary's beat them? Can I counter you with this before you blow me up? I think New Mexico is better than Fresno State, and Fresno State beat New Mexico. All right, so that sometimes the best team doesn't win on any given night. If you ask me who's a better team, San Diego State or St. Mary's, I will tell you I think San Diego State is.
Is that the biggest crowd that the Aztecs are going to have so far this season?
I don't know what their crowds are, but they're going to be pretty fired up about this.
State.
I know they had a big one for BYU early.
Yeah, but you're going in, it's conference play. Mm-hmm. Even with the losses, the Lobos are coming with a ton of momentum.
Yep.
That building is going to should be more electric than the gym was at St. Mary's.
Yeah, I think it will. And don't you agree with me? Don't you think New Mexico is better than Fresno State?
Yes.
Fresno State beat them, right? So that's my theory. So before you come in and, they beat them, how can they be better? It's easy. On a given night on the road, you can lose a game, right? I think you all would agree New Mexico's better than Fresno State. They got beat last Tuesday night up in Fresno. So that's my theory on this. We never went over Saturday stuff. Nevada stayed undefeated in league. Nevada's getting votes in the polls. They're 14-3. They're 4-0. They beat San Jose State in San Jose 67-40. San Diego State won in Laramie. It was a tough one. Another tough Laramie or Wyoming team. Look, they're 0-3 and they've lost 3 tough games, 80-75. Fresno State, that team that beat the Lobos, went up to Fort Collins and got pumped at Moby, 79-57 by Colorado State. And this one surprised me, not because of the result, but because of the margin of victory. Boise State beat the crud out of Utah State. This game was on over at 377, Marie, when we were there. 82-59. Did that surprise you, that margin of victory? Because it stunned me.
It's a reminder that you're going to get got in the Mountain West Conference. Yeah. And when you're just off and one of these teams is clicking, the score's going to look like that.
Good one tonight. 9 o'clock our time on CBS Sportsnet. Nevada's at San Diego State. Nevada's undefeated in league play at 4-0. Aztecs are 3-0. This will be a good watch for you tonight, and take a look at it if that's your sort of thing. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. When we return, why it would be better for the Bears to trade to keep the number one pick and take a quarterback. Why? They have Justin Fields, Jeff. The theory as to why it would be better to take a quarterback with the number one overall pick. Tell you that when we come back. Hey, the new year, you got new resolutions. Do you guys do resolutions? I'm not a big resolution guy.
No.
You know why? Because nobody can keep resolutions. Here's a resolution that you can keep. That'll make you feel better. That'll make you look better for a long, long time. Schedule yourself an appointment with NuMale. For fellas, it helps things like depression, weight gain, even erectile dysfunction. And for men and ladies, if you're dealing with hair loss, NuMale has state-of-the-art options to help. NuMale's number is 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688. Or online at NuMale, NuMale.com. So NuMale's professionals will walk you through the options, and then you'll pick what's best for you. You'll regrow hair. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy. It uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle to stop hair loss and regrow hair. They offer you an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser proven to regrow hair. NeoGraft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week with no linear scarring. Men and ladies, call NuMale 505-652-1688. That's area code 505-652-1688, or visit them online. It's NuMale.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young, here's one up off the rim. Jarek Dudaw with that shot, and Mask underneath. Defense is not there in time. Good move by Justin Mask.
Well, first. Nice pass. That's working that flex offense right there. And there's another timeout for Coach Barella.
Montez scans the scene, finds the corner, shot is up. Ooh, there's another one. Aris, that's 9 for Aris as she's hit.
And Coach Segura said there have been some injuries on preps as far as the players, so maybe playing zone right now.
Fight's 3 is good. Jackson Fight knocks it down for the left side, from the left side for the Sun Devils. They lead by 10.
They're playing.
A perfect 36 on his ACT composite. Big 3! Carried in by Dylan McCleskey.
Trifectas of her own. Fires it off down low. Campos off the glass, and there it is.
Quick this shot. They got a shot up with 5 seconds. Transition 3 is up, and it's in at the buzzer by Ian Hoingsberg. Picture perfect execution. Ball it hit the ground in 5 seconds.
Ball is stolen away by Montoya. Sartans are on the break. Calb finds Trujillo. Pump fake. Trujillo was rejected by Terrell. Rebounded by Calb. Hook shot is up. It's good. 2 points for Brian Calb.
Go one-on-one, and this is good things usually have. Oh, great.
H.A. Rivera. I think the story in this one is the pressure defense that has turned up. They force another turnover. Calb's on the break.
Throw it down.
Calb puts it down. Ryan Kalb with the dunk in transition.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. The boys.
All right, what's the price? Well, I want your first, I want your second, I want your third, and I want next year's first. That's a little steep. All right, let me call the other guys. Whoa, wait. How much did you want? Right? And the theory being, then you take Bryce Young. If you think he's going to be that good, you reset your quarterback clock, meaning you're paying a rookie contract for another 4 to 5 years. If you think Bryce Young is better, you upgraded your quarterback position, and you've got all of this draft capital to load up defensively, to get weapons, to find receivers, to find a left tackle. If you believe that Bryce Young is better than Justin Fields, it's a different way to think, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the way you have to think in sport. And I love the thought because immediately I'm like, no way. Then you take a step back and like, this is how you are successful. You cover all your bases. You put stuff out there. You see what comes back. You see if the team gets desperate, loads you up with draft capital. And I don't think it's crazy. If I'm Chicago, I'm staying the course. because
because
I know what I have in Justin Fields.
And because it's been 5 decades since you've had a quarterback there
And
that you can rely on.
It's an inexact science, and you could evaluate one of these dudes higher.
Totally.
And you just don't know what happens. But you know when Justin Fields is on the field, the dude runs by NFL defenders. The dude's electric. Yeah, he got banged up, but that's kind of the process you go through when you have a running quarterback. But I think he throws a better football than Lamar Jackson. He throws a better ball than Jalen Hurts. And you get that athleticism, like you can build a great offense around this
He's
guy.
bigger than Bryce Young, which would make you think more durable, right? The Lamar Jackson thing, you guys, I'm just telling you, if I'm the Raiders, I'm not paying him $50 million. He hadn't been healthy, and when he's healthy, he hasn't been spectacular. He's been good. Like he's a top 10 quarterback. I'm not paying him as a top 2 or 3, which is what he wants. And by the way, when was the last time? Well, that's not fair. But are those contracts blowing up in your face more than they're paying off? I'm looking at quarterback situations, and I'm just going. There's a lot of options if I'm the Bears. Which way you going with it? All right, Lobos win last night. Why it was such a big win, and what it means moving forward next on the opening drive.
In girls clubs, we don't do just one thing.
I'm Taylor Bishotti with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One.
Following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Of us.
When the usual morning line up at 7
o'clock in the morning. 7 a.m. where have you been? 7 a.m. where is your brother?
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Castillo, and J.J. Bach.
You know, we're throwing theories around for the first pick of the draft and what could the Bears do, and would they pick a quarterback? And you automatically go, no, dude, they got Justin Fields. They're going to load up everywhere else. But what if they can get a first, a second, a third, or a first and a third, and another first, and or whatever, and if they like Bryce Young better? Like, what if it's Houston who wants it? And you say, look, I'm taking Bryce Young. Somebody else was going to take Justin Fields. I'm going to take Bryce Young. You want to make a trade? You trade for the 2.
And Houston also has the 12th pick in this draft.
Or do you say, give me the 12th, and then Houston could have 1 and 2. No, they wouldn't have 1 and 2. They'd have Justin Fields in the 2. Yeah. There's a lot of ways to go. In theory, the text line says, regarding any effort to draft a quarterback high and ditch the current good quarterback at Chicago is wrong, no matter how many times its pusher argues for and repeats it. So I'm going to tell you, my initial thought, I think, is my prevailing thought. While I don't hate the theory, I think I would not trade Justin Fields. I would be more apt to trade the pick. I would be more apt to trade the pick to Indianapolis or Vegas or somebody with a top 7 pick. I want your first, your third, and a second, or first, a third, next year's or something, right? Because you're getting a franchise quarterback. But, and this is the biggest but, JJ, and this is where I'm not qualified on this. I've not done enough sit down, look at the film research. I don't know who I think is better, Justin Fields or Bryce Young. If I think Bryce Young is going to be better, then I've got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But I better be freaking right because my whole career is on the line. Right?
Absolutely.
But you know what you have with Justin Fields.
You know what you have. No, it's a gamble. But what if you firmly believe that Bryce Young is going to be better? Like, Justin Fields good. No, I think he's really good, but I think there's a limit. I think, look, and I'm just saying, if I think Bryce Young throws a better ball, reads defense is better, is a smarter quarterback, is more, whatever. If I think that, I've got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity here to cash in on both sides. But I better be right.
I think the Bears haven't been in this place in a long time, and they've always been defense focused, and I think they found a franchise quarterback that they just need to build around. Okay. I like where this is going.
It's safe.
It's you say safe because
safer.
The Bears haven't been here in a very long time.
Right, because 5 decades they've been trying to find a quarterback.
So, and they've only focused on their defense.
Yeah. Well, they've tried quarterbacks. They thought Rex Grossman was the guy. Remember Brian Urlacher told me Rex is pretty good. Man. Rex is really
good. He went to the Super Bowl.
Okay. Rex is really good. You went to me like, what? Brian said what?
Got Brian in the Super Bowl.
He did go to the Super Bowl.
Right. Look.
They didn't win it, but
I'm not arguing with
they went.
All right. Pitt last night, 82-75. Lobos beat Oral Roberts University. A good win, a good bounce back for the University of New Mexico. Kind of got a win game, as JJ said, and they did. Jamal Mashburn had 24 points for New Mexico last night to lead the way. Josiah Alec had a double-double, 15 and 13. Morris Udeze had a double-double, 12 points, 10 rebounds, and Jalen House had 15 points to go along with 5 assists. Big win, good win. Here's what it means. I'll tell you what this means. This means that they are back on track for a minute. Okay? I don't know that means that they're back on track, period. I don't know that it means that they're going to win in San Diego, but telling you, I think that it gives them a chance to go to San Diego State and win, because I think if they'd have lost 3 in a row, it starts creeping in. We just lost 2 in a row at home with these crowds, and goodness gracious, what are we? And now we're going into the home of the best team in the league.
They needed it because it avoids what could be, or could have been, excuse me, a 4-game losing streak. I don't expect the Lobos to win on Saturday. That's not because I don't think they're a good team. I just think the
Mud's
Aztecs.
going to be all over you now.
I don't. Fine.
Yeah, Mud says you wish they lost.
Stop thinking about Mud every day.
Fair enough.
This is one that it's just good teams should hold serve at home. Even if the Aztecs beat the Lobos on Saturday, that return game at the pit.
Yeah.
I'm looking at New Mexico. You have to take care of your business on your home floor, and if you knock them off, that becomes, it could be your best one of the season. You think it would be better than beating St. Mary's, and that's in the conversation of how good those teams are. But beating Oral Roberts, it settles you down and gets you kind of close back to even where you were kind of after the Fresno State game, because the metrics where Oral Roberts is in UNLV is probably going to be a little bit higher than they are, but it kind of raises you back up. It gives you the opportunity to attack a schedule that has good games on it, and not just of saying, hey, you beat a good team, but the numbers with what's ahead in Mountain West play.
AC says there are no better tiers than UNM and Dallas fan, especially Mud. So he's thinking about Mud too much too. I agree with all that. And this is one of those where it puts you back in rhythm, in sync, in what you do. Look, games are going to be tough the rest of the way, and I think most of the games have been tough. Like, it bothered people when the Southern Utah game was tough. It bothered people when the South Alabama game was a 6-point game. It bothered people, and then you beat SMU by 21. Wow, look, flexed a little bit, didn't you? Then you went on the road and beat St. Mary's in a tight game. You beat San Francisco in a tight game, had to come from behind. I'm going to tell you, there's not going to be a lot of double-digit games the rest of the way. You might look at an Air Force game at home, maybe, or there's just not. This league is pretty good. You beat Colorado State by double digits at home. Maybe you get Fresno State that way because you can take it out on them. But that was a good matchup for Fresno State. What last night meant to me is, okay, reassuring your fan base, but probably, and I'm not in the locker room, so I understand this to be an assumption, but knowing that they're human beings, reassuring that group, all right, we are pretty good. We're good, because a 3-game losing streak with 2 of them at home, going to San Diego would have been tough.
It starts creeping in. And Rich Pitino talked about it post game. He said that they had to reset after the UNLV game because that hurt them, because they were amped, they were wired. It was a sellout, and then you lose at home. And he said that it was a short turnaround, but they had to focus on, hey, get your mind right, the effort, focus back in. What he talks about, trying to remove the emotion, they had to hit that hard on Sunday, and they responded against an Oral Roberts team that they can get you going. They can play up and down. They want to get in a shootout, and they almost did that at the pit. The Lobos going on that second half run, making it a 10-point game. That was a nice cushion they needed. And when a couple of those shots go in, A. Smith hits a few. And I really liked the execution from New Mexico last night. They were down, no player in the rotation, so it kind of shifted things. Javante Johnson out with the elbow issue. KJ Jenkins steps in. Some first half foul trouble. Donovan Dent, freshman's been struggling a little bit, and he comes out, has a really good game. They played good defense in the first half that got him going. And it's the little things when a team is playing a crisp game. I thought the inbounds plays were fantastic.
Yeah, they draw them up
for the Lobos last night. Getting Mash coming around, hitting that mid-range jumper. Jalen House getting the ball right there in the corner, either driving baseline, kicking it out, or hitting a big. Like, it was those little things the Lobos did well.
What do you think of the minutes Barima Sek gave you? Because I thought, while he didn't stuff the stat sheet, I thought he's getting better.
They trust him, and that's key. Is they know that when you want to try to give Alec Udeze a little bit of a rest, got a guy that's athletic enough, long enough that he's going to play defense and rebound, and that's what you need out of him in those minutes.
Harry, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. You guys?
Good. What's happening?
Excellent. Hey, I just want to say, I think that the game hasn't been played yet, and I think we still got an opportunity to beat San Diego State.
Sure
I think everybody's kind of talking like we're going to lose. But hey, man, there's a chance that we could win. Lobos, maybe these last 2 games might have gave a little wake-up call to them, and maybe they could, those 2 games they lost, those were horrible games for them. I mean, if they play a game, anything's possible.
Yep. No, I think there's absolutely a chance. There's more of a chance coming off the win last night. Thanks, Harry. Appreciate you.
Yes,
Can they beat them? Sure they can. That's why I'm telling you, this league is that tight. I think there's a chance to go on a road and beat them. I don't think San Diego State's invincible. I don't even know that I think they're great. I think they're really good. They're tested. I watched them against Arkansas. Arizona was better than them, right? When they lost to Arizona, I thought Arizona was better. They played that Arkansas team. They were up by 4 with 17 seconds to go and just mentally, just fell apart. Gave that game away. Malcolm Butler made an intentional foul and then turned the ball over. It's like they gave that game away. No, can they be beat? Sure they can. Ray, good morning. What's up, Ray? Ray.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. What's happening?
Hey, just one thing. The Lobos play a good game, but last night at the 8-minute mark, they were up 15, and they only scored, maybe 9 points rest of the game. It's been like that for like the last 3-4 games. I'm just wondering, what's your take on that? What do you think is causing that? Because they did it at Fresno State, UNLV, and now the last 8 minutes of this game was the same thing.
Yeah, certainly a lull down the stretch, right? Fresno State, they didn't score a bucket in the last 4.5 minutes, right?
That's something really a nitpick from the game. Yeah, that's the Lobos went on a stretch where it was plus 15, 72-57, and then they went 1 of 8 from the field. It got down to 75-70 in the final couple minutes, and
they got a couple of stops. In
ORU
fact,
had shots.
Didn't they miss the front end of a 1-and-1? The Lobos did. Odeze, they intentionally fouled Udeze with 50-something seconds to go. He missed the front end. They went down. They could have cut it to 2 or 3.
Yeah. So that's fair. That game got really tight in the end. Outside of Udeze, the Lobos hit their free throws down the stretch.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, Lobo fan, keep it coming because we told you what it means. We think it means. Interested in hearing your thoughts, and actually, it's pretty good. I got a ton of correspondence for you as well. But what it means going forward and why it means that. I got more thoughts on the Terrence Mathis conversation as well. The former Lobo who's going into the College Football Hall of Fame. You got a lot of response to that, and that conversation is already up on our podcast. St. Marie says, so you can go to our website sportsanimalabq.com, listen to that, or find it wherever it is that you get your podcast. Search The Opening Drive. Hey, you're in business, so you understand. You're just in life, you get it. Computers, network, remote access, it's vital to have everything operate. So now hackers are out there threatening everything about what you do. ABQ IT provides state-of-the-art cybersecurity. More and more business owners realize that is a necessary part of protecting your data. ABQ IT created a business model giving you peace of mind knowing your system is secure. They watch for any activity that's malicious. They protect your operation, keep it working efficiently, and best of all, they do it at one predictable cost. So do you currently get several bills? One from an internet provider, one from cybersecurity companies, another when you buy new equipment? With ABQ IT, there's no hourly rate or labor billing, no hidden fees or out-of-scope charges. Your rate will be predictable and will not change. Business owners get a free assessment from ABQ IT, and don't worry about computer problems again. Visit them online at abq-it.com. That's abq-it.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2422.
We're going to get back into phone calls here coming up in a little bit. We're going to get back into what the Bears should do with that first pick in the draft, what the Georgia Bulldogs did to TCU. Somebody, I'll redo that. Was it you who sent me? What? It was you who sent that to me last night.
If Georgia did that to TCU in Texas, they would have gotten the death penalty.
Yeah, what did I say?
Good thing they're in California.
Yeah, I don't think they have the death penalty anymore in California. It's a good thing they did it in L.A. last night. All right, we'll do all that, and the Lobos did some work last night at the pit, beating Oral Roberts 82-75. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. All right, how's your work situation? You digging it? You looking for a better work situation? There's something coming up next week that you should know about because there's some really good opportunities. Bernalillo County is hosting a virtual job fair. Milton is here. Milton is the human resources business partner over at Bernalillo County and letting people know about the opportunities. First of all, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
How you living? You good?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
What kind of jobs you got? Everybody's looking to get a little something better, a little better your situation. We always should be looking out for that. And Bernalillo County's got some real good opportunities, don't they?
Yes, they do. Bernalillo County has so many opportunities. I mean, from internships to tuition assistance, where you can grow in your career. You know, you name it, we do it. Engineering, security, safety, emergency services.
So this is an opportunity. So no matter where you are in your career path, and we were just talking about this, whether it's intern or entry level, whether middle management, up into management positions, or, I don't know, more experienced workers, if you will, there's all kinds of opportunities. And you said something that's really interesting. You said people think about Bernalillo County, they only think about the jail and the sheriff, and there's so much more, and that's kind of where you're leading people.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we have community engagement. We have our public works, which, is responsible for a lot of our infrastructure, things we're building here. We have our community centers, accounting.
How many jobs are we looking at? I mean, we're looking at a good number of jobs to fill, right?
Yeah, we have at least I believe 70 positions currently open.
Yeah.
And we add new positions every day.
I mean, you and I, JJ, every day somebody say, "Hey, I'm looking for something. I'm looking for something," right? You hear that all the time.
Yeah, and this is easy, right there. Virtual job fair. Look it up.
How do people get involved with this? So virtual job fair. Catherine, we're just talking about this, and I know Milton, you talk to this. The virtual piece of it makes it easier. Maybe makes it, I don't know, less intimidating for some people. That you don't have to get all dressed up and go down there. You just have to dress up from the chest up and go do this. But how do people A, get involved with this, and B, find out what it is that they might be interested in?
Okay, well, actually, to get involved is real easy. All you have to do is actually go to burnco.gov/job fair to register for the job fair, and just show up after when the job fair starts.
Yeah, so you make an appointment on there.
Well, you don't actually have to.
All right,
make
so you just show up.
Yeah,
Get
just
in
show
line.
up. Click on the link.
And so on that link, it'll show you what the jobs are that are available.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we're gonna have a variety of different departments represented, so you'll be able to see some of the highlighted opportunities that they've chosen for that day, and click on anything that you're interested in.
You know what I always wanted to do? I always wanted to be the HR business partner at and go on the radio. No, I'm kidding. that one's taken, right? That
at the moment
until you get promoted because you're on your way up. No, I understand. All right, there's a lot of opportunities here. Burnco.gov/job fair. You've got time. You can go there now, take a look at the positions that are available, and I think you're going to be surprised at the variety of positions that are available, well-paying, good-paying jobs that are there to advance your career, advance you personally and professionally, and give you some opportunities. And then you've got until next Wednesday to get yourself prepared for this interview. So there's a lot of good opportunities. Milton, appreciate you stopping by. Good luck with this. Catherine, great to see you. This is something that's really cool for a lot of people as you start the new year and you make resolutions. Everybody wants to better themselves. You've got opportunities here at Bernalillo County, and I really suggest you take advantage of this. Go online again, burnco.gov/job fair. Take a look, see if there's something that interests you, and if there is, set yourself up for an interview at this virtual job fair next Wednesday.
All right, thank you
Did
for
I
having
cover
me.
all
Joe.
that?
Appreciate it.
All right. Good luck to you with this. It's great to see you both. Happy New Year to both of you. Thanks for stopping by. All right. That's kind of cool, actually.
Very cool.
That's really it's I mean, with the opportunity, how often do you get hit all the time? I do all the time. Hey, I'm looking for a new job. I hate what I'm doing. I'm looking for something. Here's some good opportunities for you. All right. All right, let's get back into it. Where was I with this Lobo talk? Because people, I'm looking throughout my texts and my emails and everything else, and people are really fired up. I think, JJ, people felt that the win last night just put them as bigger for the group, the group in the locker room, or bigger for the fan base.
Yes, this is one that it matters for both. I think the team, they're frustrated with Pitino talking about the focus, the effort that was needed. They were concerned about it coming into this game, such a short turnaround, and the roller coaster ride for a fan base is they're going to have far more extremes than you do from a player standpoint, because you're trying to find that consistency day in and day out. Regardless, you don't have to have the consistency as a fan. You can swing away
as you might.
You can swing away from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows in 24 hours.
And they did, right? I think Global Fan's been all over the place. Let me give you one other thing, and I'm going to give you my my thoughts on the attendance, and then I'm going to read you Dan's thoughts on it. I saw some of you upset. The announced attendance last night was 9249. All right, that's a good crowd. I'm going to venture to guess there were 14 other games in America last night. It was probably the most highest attended game in America last night, college basketball. For those of you who are screaming about, that's not fair. Those of you who are upset and tweeting about the bandwagon fan base and how the crowd was less than it was on Saturday, and how the bandwagoners are jumping off, and I'd ask you to relax for a second on this. I would. I would suggest it. How about that? I'm not going to ask it. Suggest it. A Monday night for a game that was not originally on the schedule against the college football playoff championship, against Oral Roberts, a team, while good, doesn't resonate with the fan base, was not going to sell out. Now, you might tell me back in 1991 it would have. Okay. You're probably right. 1996 it would have. Oh, okay. All right. You're going to get your great crowds again this year if this team performs. I believe more than you and Dan do that the college football playoff was a factor in here. I mean, I'm not going to lie. That's the reason I didn't go to the game. I watched the game on the stream. I wanted to watch the college football playoff. I work in college football. That was the end of the season. I wanted to watch that. I know a number of people who felt the same way. But I don't feel that this fan base has jumped off of the bandwagon, so to speak, simply because attendance last night was down from Saturday.
That was better attended than I thought it was going to be. The attendance piece to this, there should be zero people upset about 9,000 in the pit.
I think that's
on
right.
Monday night when you're looking at the other SWAC games that were going on, or MEAC games, and you got 500 people in the building.
Dan says, preach on, Juan Jose. Jeffrey, Iana Maria, this is an NFL, not college football state. Last night had squat impact on Lobo basketball attendance. Now, if the game was on Monday next week, Dallas Cowboys at Tampa Bay, the difference would have been significant. Okay. I don't know, man. You hosted a party last night.
I hosted a party, and for a Monday Night Warriors, people dressed in Lobos stayed at 377 to watch the national championship game.
To say that nobody cared. Look, if you're going to ask me, is this more,
Dude,
more
okay,
of an
they
NFL
cared.
team?
Yeah.
Does that
Like
take
everyone-
you from a sellout to 9,000?
That's what I'm
No.
saying. No.
It's a really good
this is
attended game.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that factors in as much as it's Monday and the game wasn't originally on the schedule. All of that. Jordan, good morning. How you doing, Jordan?
Doing well. I wanted to respond to the bandwagon jump-off issue on the Lobo basketball.
Yeah.
Well, so my wife and I attended the game against UNLV. We paid $300 for the tickets. It was extremely crowded, which was a great environment. We ended up standing kind of in a mezzanine area and watching because it was too hard to get to the seats. But the reason why we would have attended that game over Oral Roberts is just the history of those two programs, UNLV and UNM, and a Saturday night where we both have off a Sunday versus a Monday night where my wife has to get up at 6 and go to work. So we did watch the game on TV. I'm sure that's the case for most people. I think I'm speaking for a lot of people on why the attendance would have dropped. It wasn't with the loss. It wasn't from the loss. It was more practical considerations and things like that. And neither of us are alum. We've only lived here about 6 years, and we like watching the Lobos. But when you pick a game to go to, you kind of have to make those practical considerations.
100%.
Not a thing about them losing.
100%. That's a great call, Jordan. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Frank, who's our researcher on the show.
Official title.
What do we have? 90. What was the number last night? 92-49. Southern was the next best attended game last night at 3,922. 4 games had less than 700. I mean, I rest my case, Your Honor. And like that caller just said, we had to pick a game, man. We couldn't go to both. It was $300. We picked the UNLV game on a Saturday night. UNLV was more attracted to us, so was Saturday night, as opposed to Oral Roberts on my. Look, it just
Here we are talking attendance
I know,
again,
I know.
whether it's football or basketball.
But my point is, I would just tell you, relax. The fan base is on its way back. Keep winning, keep doing things, and this fan base wants this. It's yearning for it. It's hungry for it. You get it every game night over at 377. All right, we're going to go. If you're there, stay there.
Short
I got
break.
more thoughts on Lobo basketball too. What it means forward for UNM, the victory last night, and the rotation without Javonte Johnson, why I think it's so important that he is back in San Diego on Saturday.
Well, we were just talking about 377 Brewery, and I've just been raving about it. You guys have been showing up to my pregame parties before every Lobo home game, even last night on a Monday. I know we've been talking about attendance before they took down Oral Roberts. You guys were there, Monday Night Warriors. And if you haven't been to 377 Brewery, you have to get there for all your pregame, postgame sports needs here. Support local. It's on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson. If you haven't been to one of my pregame parties yet, it's 2 hours before every home Lobo game. There's food specials, drink specials, prize giveaways, including future tickets to Lobo events, gift cards to 377 Brewery, along with merchandise. The next pregame parties will be for the next 2 home games next week, Tuesday, January 17th and Friday, January 20th. Come support your Lobos. Come support locally. And my favorite part so far is people have been to 377 Brewery, but they don't know about the back room, the event space where we're actually having the pregame party. They have a beautiful event space. Just come check it out, 377 Brewery, again on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson, or check them out at 377brewery.com.
January.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Bradley, he can pester him, but I think Matt Bradley's a thicker guard. I'd like to see Devontae on him. No?
Absolutely. You want that size on the perimeter against a San Diego State team that's really big. Not just Devontae Johnson, but Morris Udeze, Josiah Alec have to step up in that matchup because San Diego State's going to get downhill.
They're big.
They're going to get to the basket, and you got to be able to have that help defense and recover after that.
Bad Street says Lancer was the post-game answer, Jeff. Last night I missed not having a post-game call-in show, not hearing Rudy cry to JJ about the refs and how the Mountain West is trying to screw Lobo basketball, not hearing Lance after consuming a few beverages take the program in unknown directions. It's from Bad Street. Yeah, I think we all miss hearing Lance take the program in unknown directions. Well, almost all of us. You guys want to do a post-game call-in show?
I'm a little busy.
No, thank you.
Are you sure?
No, because we're here.
You have enough gigs?
No, but we
You
could
don't
do
have enough gigs yet?
You know, we could do a post game at 7 to 10, Monday through Friday.
It's just it's a post show.
Yeah.
Next morning.
That's what we are. We're just a few hours later. Yeah, it's a few hours later. Lobo Hobo says he was watching the game with some Oral Roberts fans, Jeff, and they were so frustrated about how poorly coached the Golden Eagles were. Lobo basketball didn't do anything fancy. It was high to low post passes or high screens. Oral Roberts never adjusted. They never fought over the screen, instead going under it, giving Lobo basketball open jumpers anytime they wanted. Lobo Hobo said that. The pick and roll game, I did think early got Mashburn going, got him some open jumpers and got him moving. I don't have a problem with that. All right, Rod said, what was wrong with Max Abrams, Jefferson? How many times did he slip on Bob King court? He was rubbing the bottom of his shoes the entire game. At some point, if you're struggling to get traction, you got to go to different cleats, right? I think he's talking about Asmus.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? I didn't see it. Was that a big deal with him? I didn't
seem like it.
Okay. All right, this one's interesting. We didn't talk about that. Did you watch? I'm going to shift. You mind if I shift for a minute?
I mean, callers can do it. I think we can.
John Rahm won the first PGA tournament of the year. He won
I saw
in
that
Maui the other day. Colin Morikawa had a 7-shot lead with 12 to play. Gopher says, Jeff, have we talked about his choke? He was 7 lengths clear with 12 to play. You almost never see that. They showed a list of guys, like the biggest last day demises or leads that were blown the PGA Tour. Former Lobo Spencer Levin was on that list. Remember when he did that? Did you catch any of it? Did it even register with you that John Rahm won this weekend with ridiculous scores in Maui?
I mean, I of course did, but we're golf guys, Jeff.
I'm not gonna lie, like, because it was in Hawaii and it was late night, live coverage late night. I caught some of it. I don't know if it was Friday or Saturday night, and then I got on the website and started looking at flights to Maui. I wanted to be there really bad. John Rahm was a winner. Golf season's underway, JJ. You get to watch your golf now every Saturday if you so desire, because it is there for you. All right, so here we go. What? So you're telling me if we didn't win against UNLV, there would not have been a bigger crowd, even a sellout? I bet we would have come really close. It's Fernando. Also, had we won Saturday, we would have still been in the top 25. Bandwagoners would have been there, no doubt. That's not what I'm telling you. Well, actually, what I'm telling you is, Fernando, even if you would have won on Saturday, you would not have sold out last night. Yes, I'm telling you that. Yes. If you would have won on Saturday, last night would not have been a sellout. Is that bad not to be a sellout?
No, it's not bad.
You had the biggest crowd in America yesterday.
Also, I feel like if it was a conference game, maybe it would be more people, but whatever.
If you'd have won Saturday.
Whatever.
All right, what do you think the crowd difference would have been if you'd have won Saturday
I think it's
night?
awesome we had a makeup game because we missed out on the other one.
You'd have been 10.5 instead of 9.5.
Maybe.
If you'd have won last
Maybe.
night, or Saturday night. You think I'm wrong?
It's fair.
The season ticket people were going to go back, and the people like that caller that we just had who said him and his wife had to pick a game, and it was $300, picked the Saturday game, and they weren't going to pick the Monday night game when the national championship was on against Oral Roberts. There's nothing wrong with that, man. I'm like Fernando, I don't know what you're upset about. It's a good crowd. 9,500 is a good crowd on a Monday night for a rescheduled game against the college football championship. It's a good crowd. And by the way, the energy of the crowd was better than good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you were in the building. There's nothing to complain about, I don't think. I mean, I guess there's always something to complain about. I guess if you want to, there's always something to complain about, right?
There is true.
Yeah, I imagine that's true. All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to complain about something. 888-922-0610. Your emails come in. Jeff at sportsanimallabq.com.
And-
JJ at sportsanimallabq.com.
And I just tweeted out the Terrence Mathis, and I tagged JJ Buck and the New Mexico Bowl in it.
You tweeted out the
If anyone's looking for the link, if I'm trying to help people because I know it's hard to navigate the internet sometimes.
So, if you're not familiar with what Anne-Marie's talking about, we had a conversation at 8 o'clock this morning with now College Football Hall of Famer Terrence Mathis, the former Lobo great who still holds so many records, 12-year NFL career, All-Pro, Super Bowler. He was with, and I thought it was a really good conversation. Nothing because of what you and I did. It was
No,
because
he's great.
what he did. But if you want to hear that again, or if you missed it, Anne-Marie's got it up on all our podcast places and wherever it is you listen to our stuff electronically. All right, 505-246-0610. The decibel meter last night got to 107. That's a lot, right?
Pretty good.
That's what Frank told me. I put that in context for me. Do you know what that
I
is?
don't have a context.
Yeah, I don't either. I appreciate it though, Frank. That helps a lot. All right, we got one more to go. I want to wrap this thing up strong, get you up to date on everything that happened whilst we've been on the air this morning, and to finish up with all of your correspondence as well. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
Cowboy fan, listen up. Jerry Jones spoke this morning because that's what he does on Tuesday mornings. What if the Cowboys lose in the opener? What's the fate of their head coach? Huh? Mike McCarthy, you guys love him so much. Jerry was on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas this morning. He was asked whether a wild card loss, if they lose to Tampa Bay on Monday, will that impact Mike McCarthy's status as head coach? What do you think the answer was? He's fired. No, that's not what it is. As much as many of you want. He was pretty emphatic about it. Quote, no.
No, I don't even want to. No, that's it. No, I don't need to go into all the pluses and minuses. I got a lot more to evaluate Mike McCarthy on than this playoff game.
So that was it. No, he flat out said no. Not. He said that's it. No, I don't need to go into all the pluses or minuses.
That'll change next Tuesday morning.
I got a lot more to evaluate Mike McCarthy on than his playoff. That changes next week?
No doubt
about it. A week from
it.
this morning, we're sitting here having another conversation.
Yes.
Last coach who took the Cowboys to the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. Do you know who that was? Can you believe it was 98, 99? The last coach, last time the Dallas went to back-to-back playoffs? It was Chan Gailey. Chan Gailey was fired after they lost 27-10 in the wild card. You remember to who? Skol. The Vikings. Okay? Jones has called that decision to move on from Chan Gailey a mistake. Remember last year, they lost the wild card to the Niners. Now, Jerry, at that point, it kind of felt like he left the possibility of a change open, right? But then later he said that he was doing that in part to keep Dan Quinn on the staff, because Dan Quinn was interviewing for a number of head coaching jobs, and he didn't want Dan Quinn leaving thinking he can get the job there. Whatever. By the way, Broncos. Did you know the Broncos asked for permission to talk to Dan Quinn?
Did see that.
Okay. I can't tell you how much confidence I got in Mike and our coaching staff of being on top of where we are with this team right now. They got every nuance. They understand every frailty that we might have or what we might have shown on Sunday. And they got everything in their grasp and in their understanding, and I have complete confidence in this coaching staff. It's outstanding. We got a great chance to go down there and have success.
Okay, but what if they don't? But what if they? You got great confidence that they're going to win. I don't know, man. I feel less secure about Mike McCarthy now than I did 20 minutes ago.
And that is a question that the answer is going to change 7 days from now. Because you can feel one way right now and talk yourself through it. What if they go out there laying A and you feel your coach made some bad decisions, or feel your quarterback didn't play up to the expectations? You're going to feel differently that Tuesday morning as opposed to right now when you're able to say all those things with the emotions not part of the conversation.
Right. I think you're right, man. So I'd have told you an hour ago that I think that Mike McCarthy's back as their coach next year, whether they win or lose on Monday night. But listen to him. It almost sounds like we're not making a change because I know we're going to win next Monday. But if you don't win next Monday, well then,
and a great coach and Sean Payton, and
what's the best? If the Cowboys open up, that's the best job, right? Best job available. Texans, Broncos, potentially the Rams, Indianapolis, Carolina. That's the best job available.
It's a good job. It's one that people scream about Jerry Jones and say, well, why wouldn't you want to work there? You have to deal with a lot, but like they've been successful outside of playoff success, and coaches will look at that when it's the owner that wants to win. You've won double-digit NFL games. Like, it's not as bad as people want to make it out to be, that just look at Jerry Jones and say he's the reason they don't win.
Yeah. We didn't hit this. Midday yesterday, how'd you find out Damar Hamlin was released from the hospital? Did you
heard it
pop up on your phone? Did you? Did it surprise you as much as it surprised? I was expecting to hear him. He's up and walking. Like, I just didn't expect, hey, dude's out.
Yeah, I heard on social media.
He's back in Buffalo. Like it
From
was,
Adam Schefter.
Schefter?
Yeah, that's where I usually pops up.
I had the news on in the office, and they took the press conference live, and they're like, "Yep, nope, he's gone." We released. I was like, "Wow." That story has gone from. I mean, it was a week ago today. The whole world was like, "Did we just watch a guy die on a football field?" To that guy's back in Buffalo, and it looks like everything's going to be fine. I don't know if he's ever going to play football again. I have no idea. I know they want to do some tests and figure out, does he have or did he have a pre-existing condition? Was it just happen to be he gets hit in the chest the wrong time on the wrong heartbeat and the wrong? I mean, all that still. But the bottom line is, it certainly feels like that young man's going to live a life, doesn't it? A pretty good one.
It does.
There's positives that came through it. We saw a little bit of humanity and a little positivity and a little bit of people coming together. It was kind of cool in that regard. And the fact that we're probably, seemingly, how about that? More seemingly, going to have the right outcome on this. When's the last time you saw everybody pulling on the same end of the rope about any issue? And it sucks that that's what the issue was. But when was the last time you saw almost unanimously on your social media and your friend group and your work group, whatever, everybody pulling on the same end of the rope? It was almost everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
There were some people who said they should have played the damn game. Whatever, people die all the time. Okay. But I think for the most part, everybody was pulling on the same end of the rope and thinking, wow, they did the right thing. They got to the right result. Now this young man has been it's amazing to me where that story went. It really is amazing to me.
It's unbelievable. And just seeing the person that Damar Hamlin is and how grateful, thankful he is just to be alive at this moment in time. And what he put out on his social media, he's like, the love was unbelievable. And I'm paraphrasing. He's like, and then I just hope to put that out back into the world twofold. And, someone like that is going to do that.
Yeah. All right, let me hit you with a couple of texts before we get out of here. In support of those UNM fans who have to choose which games to attend and thus do not go to them all, I choose to not attend any, avoiding them all, and I find that helps. Okay. Not even sure what that means, but good for you. This says, how fast will the overrated Mr. Brady leave Tampa Bay if their Buccaneers lose Monday? Two things in there. Quickly, and how is Tom Brady overrated?
Is there a below 500 football team?
Well, as a current player, does anybody have him rated as one of the best quarterbacks that you want right now?
Yeah, I wouldn't even entertain this comment.
Is Tom Brady overrated?
No, I think he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Period.
This is a silly comment.
All right, but the first part of it,
Next.
how fast will he leave Tampa Bay if they lose?
Here he is leaving.
Yeah, he's out, right? He will, once they lose, this is it for him in Tampa.
I'm
all
sorry,
do-
the Bucks are not winning the Super Bowl.
I agree with that. Yeah, so whenever they lose is his last game in Tampa. But we disagree. So if he plays, he's in Vegas or San Francisco next year, right?
Yes.
I would lean towards Vegas. Okay? I still lean that he's not playing. I know that's in the minority. If you're Vegas, I guess what are your options right now? Huh? I guess everything's your option right now. Do you unload draft picks to try to get a pick? Who's on the market? Is Matthew Stafford interest anybody? If McVay leaves and the Rams say, you know what, We got Baker Mayfield. Let's go get a draft pick. What is Matthew Stafford worth in draft capital? Can I get a first-round pick and get a young quarterback? Does Matthew Stafford interest anybody?
No, because I'm worried about his injury.
I think at that point, Matthew Stafford would step away.
I think Matthew Stafford's going to retire before Tom Brady.
Really? You guys both do?
Especially with his spinal contusion. It's just, I think he did his job and had a great career.
Matthew Stafford to Tampa doesn't make any sense to anybody?
Mm-mm.
It's where old quarterbacks should go retire.
It makes sense,
telling you,
but
go to
I don't
Florida.
think
We all go to
Matthew
Florida.
Stafford
All right,
would want
Rogers,
to
head
do
down
it.
there.
You said what?
Aaron, what?
I don't think Stafford would want to do that right now. And if he wants to keep playing,
Yeah.
why-
Well, if
I think why not?
McVay leaves and he wants to keep playing, do you think he wants to sit through a rebuild?
Who's to say they're rebuilding? If,
A
if
reinvest.
Matthew Stafford is there, you got Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald.
Get healthy. If he
Still
doesn't
doing
retire.
That's kind of
that.
my point the other day.
Yeah. Like you can be a competitive football team as long as Matthew Stafford's healthy and on the field.
What the Rams decide to do if McVay, he's got to let him know soon, right?
Yeah, but he's also created a tree of a lot of great coaches.
Brandon
So,
Staley?
someone will take over just like Sean McVay did. And
Or they go a completely different way. I mean, they've got good assistants, good coordinators on that staff that have been or can be head coaches. You think Stafford retires before Tommy?
yes, I'll put money on it.
I haven't really thought. It might
Just
happen. No,
because
it could.
of
It
how
absolutely
serious
could.
his injury is.
What is he, 37?
Yeah, he's like 30.
He's won his
7 or
ring. He
38.
didn't
It's
give a
around
damn.
Rogers' age, and I just think, yeah, you go in. You have a long career, and
And he won a ring.
yeah, he had a good career.
No, good career, and he won a ring. Is he a Hall of Famer? He is not, right? He is not a
I
Hall
feel
of
like
Famer.
the Super Bowl ring, just like for Eli Manning, just like saved him.
Somebody's going to tell me how his numbers stack up and tell me look, I like Matt Stafford. He's not a Hall of Famer.
He's 34 years old.
So he's young.
Oh, I thought he was
He's young.
older.
Eli won 2. That's what got him over the hump.
That's what I'm saying.
Stafford's got 1.
And I still think Matthew's better than Eli.
Thanks to Terrence Matthews for being with us today. The former Lobo, now Hall of Famer, College Football Hall of Famer, was with us. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4, and then we're back with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Adrian, great work. A. Marie, good to hear you in the open now. What about that?
I made it.
You're on the billboard. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.